ready for the next battle. Tekken 8! New Challenger! Hwoarang!
또 늦잠 잤네. 사부님한테 혼나겠다. 사부님. 늦잠을 자버렸네. 사부님 화나셨으려나? 뭐 역시 그렇겠지. 안 그러면 사부님이 아니지. 역시 우리 사부님은 화를 내셔야지. 그래야 멋있다고. 오늘도 사부님한테 혼나겠구나. 허랑!
또 늦잠이냐? 벌로 팔굽혀펴기 천번 해라.
Hello everyone. Hwoarang had one of the best reveal trailers so far. This got me thinking that Hwoarang, Lily, and several other characters in Tekken 8 currently can help Tekken with its rather lackluster cosmetic situation that it's had for the last few years of Tekken 7. They can give us something more than janky universal costume pieces with weirdly saturated colors. Hwoarang looks amazing in Tekken 8, and he is probably the most well-known Taekwondo practitioner in all of fighting games. People that play fighting games consistently or consider themselves FGC might think of Kim or Juri and say it's them, but in the world outside of competitive fighting games, more people know the guy with red hair in Tekken 3. Hwoarang definitely reigns supreme in this representation of the style. It is unparalleled by anyone in any non-Tekken game, with only other 3D fighting games coming remotely close. I think that's due to the fact that he was literally motion captured by a Taekwondo gold medalist. Though Hwoarang definitely had a rival in his representation of the martial art by another Tekken character.
이 녀석! 아직도 이런 짓을 하고 다니는 게냐?
너 뭐야?
자리 먹고 가자.
잠깐만! 그분은...
BaekDooSan is Hwoarang's teacher. He made his debut in Tekken 2, then immediately fell into that awkward scenario where in the original lore of Tekken 3, if you weren't there but Ogre had one of your moves, that meant you were killed by Ogre. Your techniques assimilated into his vast knowledge. This of course got retconned as almost every character from Tekken 2 made a return by Tekken 5, including Master Baek. Baek is known as the easier to learn but harder to play of the two characters. Apparently his game plan is much riskier and open to punishes. This didn't stop people from loving the character. If anything, it's proven the easier the character in Tekken, probably the more fan following they're gonna get. That would explain Brian Fury. Through the years, however, he's drifted to the wayside as Hwoarang began assimilating several of Baek's moves into his own moveset. Heck, Hwoarang stole his suit. This plus the fact that Baek isn't a prominent character in Tekken's story with no real meaningful events in his cutscenes or character interactions. In fact, the first ever voiced character interaction is with Law, and Law doesn't speak in the cutscene. It's probably safe to say Baek may not get a reveal of his own, base roster or otherwise, as DLC, and I think he should make a return even if it's not as a fully fleshed out character. Baek should occupy the same square as Hwoarang, like a legendary skin in a MOBA, where they turn a character into an entirely different character, but they still have the same abilities and everything. Instead of Hwoarang just dressing up like him, you should be able to select Baek, become him, but still, fight just like Hwoarang would. Tekken used to do that sort of thing all the time, and then it stopped because, I don't know, reasons. Namco flew too close to the sun with 6 in Tag 2, giving all of them their own square, trying to separate the similarities between even characters like Eddie and Christy and the Bears. The Bears in Tekken 7 have 2 different rage arts, and this flying too close to the sun forced them to make Tekken 7 on a budget, so they couldn't do anything like this, really, which is probably why people were so mad that both Bears are in the game separately. Meanwhile, other fighting games, especially like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, have sort of picked up on doing this themselves. Even Smash Brothers has spun the idea into a positive. The sheer amount of mirror characters in Smash Brothers has always been a problem up till now. Now they're referred to as Echo Fighters, and people just see it as everyone is here, which is a positive. It's just more variety. It's more options. Daisy and Peach have different voice actors. Stuff like that. Little nuances that fighting games used to put into their console versions are what helped drive people towards playing them. The concept of mapping a different character over the same animation has been there since Tekken 1. Anna and Nina are the same character. Wang and Julia are the same character. Lee Chaolan and Law are the same character if you go back and play those games. You can't play Anna, Wang, and Lee in the arcade version. You can only play them on the PlayStation version. Why? Because you already play them. Pick Law, Nina, or Julia. I keep saying Julia. Michelle. It was Michelle at the time. Anyway, I think any characters that don't make it in should get this legendary skin treatment. If they have a similar character on the roster, that is. Especially Baek, who spanned 2 separate eras of Tekken. Before and after the Tekken 3 time skip, he could be 2 skins. One where he's younger, one where he's older. Baek comes from that golden era of Tekken when they threw everything in the game they could. Characters like Baek should be first in line to return, I say. But in the grand scheme of things, having 2 very similar Taekwondo fighters doesn't fit other people's ideal roster. Well, there's a ton of characters that don't fit my ideal roster, some of which have already been revealed and added to Tekken 8. I'd love to see the actual martial artist characters make their returns in any way possible. Tekken 7 post-launch had these long patches of being content dry, and they felt especially bad due to a mixture of Tekken 7's lack of content on release and its sheer longevity. Then when they did cosmetics and collaboration items for customization, they were always disappointing. Meanwhile, Tekken has all these characters that didn't make it into the game. Imagine if, in addition to the fully fleshed out DLC characters, the ones that have their own move list, the ones you want to see return and are completely unique, we get these Echo Fighter type characters as well dropping in, even if it's only to spice the game up visually. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what customization is for? I think they should just try it with one character to see how people respond. And if there's any character they should try that with, it's Baek. We've all seen people mod him over Hwoarang on YouTube. Seems like Namco is throwing away a chance to garner more interest in the game. And personally, this is just me. It's obvious they're going to monetize it after they sell it to you. This is a way that doesn't seem anti-consumerist. This seems like something I'd be willing to pay for. With that said, maybe Namco is worried that people grew so used to Baek, Anna, Kunimitsu, even like JC plays different than how Julia plays in Tekken 7, and that's the same character. One's just wearing a mask. Maybe they're afraid people will be off-put by their character now being reduced to just a skin for another character. So I want to hear from the Baek players specifically, because that's the point of this video. But yeah, if you play Anna and she comes back as a skin for Nina, potentially, would you be frustrated? Would the Baek players be frustrated if he was just skinned over Hwoarang? Because again, Hwoarang is just stealing a bunch of his moves. Kunimitsu was completely unique in Tekken 7 as a DLC character. We all know Yoshimitsu is going to be in the game. What if Kunimitsu was just a skin for Yoshi like she was back in Tekken 2? I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, because I just think Baek coming back as a skin is perfect for him. In an ideal perfect world, everyone comes back and is their own character, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It'd be nice, especially seeing as how Tekken 7 was supposedly the best-selling Tekken of all time, so there better be some content here. That's all I have to say. Till then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
우리 도장에서 일요일마다 태권도 교실을 열고 있는데 한번 배워보면 어떻겠소?